where Brown is accused of sexual assault and rape. I did have a chance to speak with Bucs coach Bruce Arians, Bill Polian and I hosting last night on Sirius XM NFL Radio. Here's what I asked Arians about AB.
What is your level of concern, if any, that at some point in the next couple of months here, you're going to get a call in the middle of the night saying that there's an issue?
Really none. We knew of the incident. He's been a model citizen. If and when he's not, we'll move on. He knows that. Our team knows that. So it's just, I don't really think we're going to have any problems. We haven't had any so far, and I really would not anticipate any.
Off the field certainly sounds like a zero-tolerance policy by the Bucs toward Antonio Brown. On the field, he has 10 catches for 100 yards through 2 games. The Bucs face the Rams on Monday night. Kate.
Appreciate the update there, Tom Pelissero, and we will talk to you in a little bit. The Raiders do host the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, just the type of game that maybe Henry Ruggs is drafted for. We love him. Henry Ruggs could break out. Could it be a Josh Jacobs game? Who has Josh Jacobs in our off to the races?
I think the person who just asked.
It's Salute to Service time. It's the NFL's year-round effort to honor, to empower, to connect with our nation's service members. The NFL, by the way, donates not 50%, not 75%, 100% of proceeds from the sale of any Salute to Service merchandise. Those cool camo hats everybody has, those knits that you're looking at. Look at that cool Jets bag. I really like that. 100% to its military nonprofit partners. The NFL does not profit from the sale of any Salute to Service items, so you should go ahead and check out what they have over at NFL.com/salute and join us in thanking our troops on the ground here in the U.S., overseas, and all of our armed forces for your sacrifice. Now, in Week 10, we saw a battle of 2 rookie quarterbacks, but Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers didn't have an answer for Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. Herbert was asked if he viewed that loss as a learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, losing's always tough. There's nothing easy about it, and so you watch the film, but you worry about it too much. You can't let the Dolphins beat you again. You can't let them beat you next week. You have to learn from it, and I think it's a great learning experience moment for our offense because that's tough. That's what they did with the way they disguise it gives a lot of people trouble, and we're better now having gone through it. And you know, next time we see something like that, I know that we'll have a better plan. We'll be able to execute better. Yeah, it's tough that we didn't execute it, but I know going forward we're going to be better because of it.
I think it'll be better because of that haircut, too. It made its rounds on Twitter there. Hey, rookies, it's time to raise your game, presented by EA Sports Madden NFL 21. Which rookie do you think raises his game in Week 11, Nate? I'm
going to stick with Herbert. One, let me say I respect the fact he got the haircut. Okay. I think we've all been there where we thought, oh, if I just change my haircut, it's just going to change my mojo. We've all been there. That's the reason I'm rocking braids. But no, I want to emphasize that the Chargers have been in every game. And what I mean by every game, I mean literally could be undefeated, right? There hasn't been a game this season where the Chargers just got smacked around. I'll point out a few of them that really stand out. They lost by 3 to the Chiefs early in the season, 7 to the Bucs, 3 to the Saints, 5 to the Raiders, who are hot. Okay, so now you face the Jets. Raise your game, man. This is the team you're supposed to beat. And why is this important? Because you can create momentum. If you've been in every game, the perception of you is you could win every game. Okay, so beat the Jets. Then you got the Bills. Yeah, okay. What if you go and beat Josh Allen? Then you got the Pats. What if you beat Cam and the Patriots? And then you have Atlanta, Raiders after that? They could go on a hell of a run where we forget about the tough losses. And all of a sudden, we're looking towards next year saying, Herbert got the juice. But you got to raise your game right now when it comes to playing the Jets.
That's the old fake bad theory that we've had
for
years. We'll see. I would just say this. I'm looking at that Sunday Nighter, and in the first pick of the how the hell are we going to beat the Chiefs draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Henry Ruggs III. Let's go, dude. This is the Super Bowl for this guy. And I'll tell you what's fascinating. When they beat the Chiefs last time, it was Jacobs up the middle a lot, but it was not him breaking off and having splash runs. We're seeing them against Denver, but Ruggs was electric in that game. He had 2 huge catches, 2 catches for 118 and a massive touchdown to go with one by Aguilar. I think Ruggs needs to show out big time on Sunday night. Here's the funny thing of it. Since they played the Chiefs, Ruggs has not done much. In fact, he hasn't had a touchdown since then. If Henry Ruggs' legacy for the whole next 10 years is he only plays well against the Chiefs, that's a win. I don't care. If you are the vocational Chiefs killer, that's the best draft pick of all time. I don't think that they can beat the Chiefs with just Jacobs here, Jacobs here. There's got to be some sort of lightning. Henry Ruggs, this is why you were put on this earth, and this is why Mike Mayock said, I want that guy of all these great players and all these great receivers, have a night.
Last week, we saw a couple upsets in the NFL. Earlier in the show, we talked about how if we saw the Raiders beat the Chiefs and if we saw the Seahawks lose to the Cardinals, the tables would be flipped. Would there be a bigger table flipping if the Jaguars beat the Steelers this weekend?
Yeah.
And if it happens, it's going to be because of a rookie and not the quarterback. It's going to be the rookie running back, James Robinson. I think James Robinson holds the keys to the entire AFC this weekend. If they beat the Steelers, it's going to be because of him. And if the Jags give the Steelers their first loss, the entire thing is in chaos. It might be the Raiders' year. It might be the Chiefs' year. It might be, who knows, the Cleveland Browns' year. Okay. James Robinson has been well celebrated on our show. Kay has mentioned him multiple times in fantasy segments. Kyle, you mentioned him the Thursday night thing. This guy, it's not a flash in the pan. He's on the list. Top 5 in the league in running. And these are celebrated players. Dalvin Cook out of Florida State. Derrick Henry out of Alabama. Rojo out of Florida or USC. Josh Jacobs, Alabama. James Robinson, the pride of Illinois State.
Normal Illinois.
And how about his high school career?
Whoa.
Bring it up.
This is so funny.
Rockford Lutheran in Rockford, Illinois.
Peter, that's a typo, bro. Come on, seriously.
Please look at the rushing touchdown column. 33 rushing touchdowns as a freshman.
Peter, that's a 14-year-old kid as a freshman. 14.
43 as a sophomore.
Get into Westchester, buddy.
Yeah, no.
158 rushing touchdowns in high school. Would have a very celebrated, decorated college career. But there will be no bigger game than him against that Steelers defense that we have been talking about nonstop. Undefeated. James Robinson, go have yourself a day.
I got some
Flip the table.
He's got a ton of tough matchups down the stretch, that young James Robinson. Okay, after this, just who is the most important player in the NFC West? Judge Kay Adams. Our next case is the high-profile Good Morning Football versus the NFC West. The defendants are one Mr. Russell Wilson, Mr. Jalen Ramsey, and a one Mr. Cliff Kingsbury. We hear arguments from a member of each of their counsels today to argue on behalf of why their client is, in fact, the most important person in the NFC West division. Now, on behalf of the Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, we have a Mr. Burleson. Mr. Burleson, welcome to my court. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Your Honor. And might I add how lovely it is to be back in the courtroom today. This morning, I'm going to tell you about a man whose mere presence in the NFC West division is enough to call it the most exciting and competitive division in football. A man whose highlight reel could be as long as Peter Schrager's deep dive on the history of the Colts. Yuck. Really reaching out to that young demographic here. A man who goes by many names. Danger Russ, Mr. Unlimited, and more commonly, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson should be considered the most important person in the division for many reasons. It's not because he works harder than Kyle Brandt works on his biceps. We get it, dude. You got a trainer, okay? It's his ability to adjust, and not just adjust in the pocket. Take a look how he adjusts his hairstyles. Exhibit number 1. Curly, elegant, beautiful.
Yeah.
I present exhibit number 2. Business in the front, party in the back, making mullets look classy. Exhibit number 3. Clean, well-groomed, yet still looks like just one of the guys. And I would like to make a motion to dismiss all claims that Mr. Wilson is no longer the front runner for league MVP. My basis for this motion is the other team's defenses that have been prosecuted by my client's exceptional December heroics. Case in point, week 13, 2018. 4 touchdowns, 185 yards passing, no interceptions. May I mention week 14, 2019, 245 yards passing against the so-called stout Rams defense. What about week 17 of 2019? 233 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. When it comes to December, the NFC West belongs to my client.
They lost that game.
Now, before I go on, you have your turn. Order in the court.
They lost.
That is disrespectful.
Good job, Zips.
You will lose your bar, whatever it's called. All right, before I let you
disbarred.
Listen.
Yeah, disbarred. You will be disbarred.
Quiet over there, peanut gallery.
Thank you. I want to address some of the things you'll hear from the other prosecutors. You know, they might tell you that Jalen Ramsey is the most important guy in the division. Even Jalen Ramsey seems confused about that take. He looks like the doll from the Rugrats. Jalen, I love you. All right? They also might tell you that the guy in the NFC West is Cliff Kingsbury. We all remember Cliff's draft photo back in April. But what you might not have noticed,
oh my gosh,
is among the multiple fireplaces is my client waiting in the background, never letting old Cliff forget who runs this town. Thank you, Judge Adams.